Hey Doom fam, what's cracking? May 29th. Truth Wizard here, coming back at you with another update. It's been over a week since my last publish, I'm aware. I've just been busy out here living like a druid on over 700 acres of state forest land. I'm not trying to sound self-aggrandizing or boastful. I'm just actually content for once, and maybe even feeling slightly guilty for it. But that is overshadowed by the gratitude I have for this community and being present with me for the past some 5 years of my life in a completely vulnerable state, putting myself out there on the internet, coming to terms with abrupt and irreversible climate change, biodiversity loss, losing habitat for Homo sapiens. Over the next 10 years, we will lose touch with all the things that we've been accustomed to growing up with. But I have some funny stories to share. I just got back from Pittsburgh, 303,000 people chasing the capitalist dream, which is nigh and non-existent. I did come away with a great time and a flash drive with a large language model on it, which I want to offer to you. So hit the subscribe, like, and use the donation link below. You can put 30 or more and your address. I will copy this model over to you and send it your way promptly. It is the equivalent of 127 million books and reading Wikipedia over 2,500 times, and a flash drive which has 32 gigs of storage. It does take a bit of computer processing power to chomp at it, like 12 to 16 gigs will give you faster speeds, or it's acceptable because it has to compute and read all this data, parse it for you, but essentially it's an offline Google answer database with every bit of practical information you'd ever want to know, useful for collapse and when the grid goes down. This friend is very specialized in the techno communications aspect of collapse. I'm working on the hunter-gatherer skills. Coming along, I just got a book to read with many more resources that is not on this drive, but I want to extend that to you. You know, just put in 30, 40 bucks, your address, I'll get it copied over, send it to you. Just make sure you have as I mentioned, a computer that has about 12 to 16 gigs of RAM, I would say, because my laptop has 8 and it kind of struggles, but still works. So, now on to some funny stories and catching up with all of you, this community who's verified the information and data with me over years. I mean, this channel has over 250,000 views for putting all this work. Something really motivated me to make this content in this community was enlightenment of knowledge, information about abrupt and irreversible climate change. It's been pretty well damn settled now that we aren't reducing emissions. We're heading into oblivion, okay, just frankly. So buckle up. You know, I'm present and awake to this knowledge, and living in accordance with it is another thing. I can't fully escape the system. I still have to maintain a job, like I mentioned. This is a job in itself, too, maintaining this community when I can. So let me get to a funny story. I was at the, to kind of mix it up, I was at the food bank today, St. Mary's Catholic Church, and Jebediah, maybe? He's a average Mormon-looking religious fella, younger guy, tucked white button-up shirt, tie, combed over blonde hair, blue eyes. We've made small talk a few times, and he said, "Oh, hey, Reagan, your head's not going to spin around today?" It's an inside joke because the girl in The Exorcist is named Reagan, you know. And that made me laugh. So he has a sense of humor and obvious intelligence, though he's heavily brainwashed and misconstrued. So, despite having good parents, as he claims. So, upon leaving, he mentioned that he knows where Walton is. It's out there. It asked if it was a food desert, because I am at a food bank. And I said yes, and I live in the forest. And he says, "Oh, that must be a good place to find God." Yeah. Made me laugh inside a little, and I couldn't help but respond, "Well, there's many terms for that name that you said," not indicating that I was a full-blown atheist. Then I've debated saying I'll help him find God, but that's a bit too far. So upon leaving, instead, I showed him the global average temperature. I made sure that his eyes were working correctly. He doesn't wear glasses, and he could see the clear line going upwards. And then I also notified him that all of these countries, showing him another graphic here, I'll put both of these up on the screen, need to stop. Every country, Russia, China, US, all of them, God needs to make these countries stop emitting. And he said, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. Well then, what good is your God? Why would he make a species that would destroy its own habitat? Can we connect the dots here? You know what I'm saying?
I forgot about the man.
What, man? Fuck the man. We got 10 seconds
He said
left.
how many were going to St. Ives, right? The guy and his wives aren't going anywhere.
What are they doing?
Sitting in the fucking road, waiting on the moon. How the hell should I know?
Who's going to
McLean?
St. Ives then?
The guy. Just the guy.
It's fucking unbelievable. We're cooked. Maximum. I'm humbled after getting back from the city at how alienated we are from each other. It's one of the worst times to be alive. Most people are alone. Women and men hate each other and mistrust. So dating apps have just fucked society in addition to social media and Instagram. The AI algorithm is programming people. AI is advancing so incredibly fast. There are more than just 3 existential threats facing us. Geopolitics now are at their worst. The bond market is out of control. We're talking about societal, financial, ecological habitat collapse for Homo sapiens. That's what we're confronting now. And I indicated that we'll all be dead by 2040 or wish we were. That gets the point across that conditions will be so miserable from all of these side effects of artificial intelligence achieving generalized intelligence, which will then just determine that we are the virus. It'll just read overshoot and realize that we're the problem. You get me? Obviously, I still want to have a good sensory experience. I want to experience life. In fact, like I said, I'm so fucking brainwashed from living in my 20s so loud and indoctrinated by society that it's okay to feel happy, to feel content with where you're at and how far you've made it. You know, really take stock of how far you've come. And this wasn't alone. It was all of you joining me on this journey. So, funny encounter. I hope that made you laugh. Very few things make me laugh on the internet. It's all coming. Fast. Orange Man is going to destroy this country. We can't have civil conversation after what he's done and doing. And you hear these testimonies from his cabinet members, from the IRS to the Secretary of Interior, saying we have more time to confront climate change. Our time was like 50 years ago. But artificial intelligence in China are a bigger threat. Well, yeah, but then like right behind that, I mean, I don't need you to tell you this. There's multiple reports that say that's going to be the biggest. By the time we get to it, it'll clearly be too late. We are fucking cooked, washed, well done, finny, toast. Okay, Nate Hagans, Dr. Glibs, Peter Carter, you're not a denier. I'm just saying, every one of these internet personalities, including these artificial intelligence tech bros and Sam Altman building huge data centers. There's a video Bloomberg did with this Asian gal interviewing his like lead of construction, and she's like, "Don't you know that this like consumes a lot of fossil fuels?" And he said, he just kind of shrugged off the question because he's getting paid, $250,000 a year to just act stupid. Yeah, the solution from Gooby and Doobie, totally different energy than me. If I started talking like that, I don't think I would really have any subscribers. But after I read that paper, it was very special. And then I would have 88,000 views just walking around. Okay, I'll stop. Really? That I've been saying the same shit for 5 years. What the fuck, YouTube? I don't care. It's not a popularity contest. Like I said, it's about a community. If you can have a tribe of 20 to 50 people, that's about what most people lived in hunter-gatherer tribes. I have that here. It's a good number. Congrats. We made it. Okay. Running out of steam. Like I said, I'm prepared mentally and physically for as many threats that face us. It is beyond comprehension that the World Meteorological Organization would rely on 20-year averages to determine whether we've breached the Paris Climate Accord, even though it admits that 2024 was 1.5, and you look at the chart, it's going up. We're actually closer to 1.6 right now. Then when we get to 2, global stability is no longer. Okay? Ports will be flooded. Insurance industry will be fucking bankrupted. Climate disasters around the world will be exponential, increasing all the time. And then we'll hit 2.7 or 3 degrees by 2040, and then we're toast. That's why I give that date, because you just follow the trend upwards, because we're clearly going up. We're not going down in emissions or anything. And the Catholic boy understood that. But God isn't going to protect you, me, or anybody. The point's across now, right? Most people generally get it. But a lot of people are in denial of this social conditioning. And being in the city, again, reminded me of that. Not to go around in circles, but we are so atomized and alienated. It is on full display. I know many of you live in populated areas. I just have a few villages around me, and you're used to it. But go live off grid or away from the city, and then go back into it now, and you'll just see, like, it doesn't even take that. We're fucking cooked. Okay, there is absolutely no hope for us to communicate and resolve any of these existential crises that are facing us. AI, nuclear proliferation, global geopolitical failures. I mean, look at these psychos running the world. You've seen that clip of Macron getting slapped by his wife and Trump calling Putin crazy. These are the fucking people running the world, and idiots will vote for them. It is one of the worst times to be alive. I repeat. People aren't having babies, which is not a bad thing. I think it's the most despicable thing to bring a child in the world right now. You guys know this. This is like obvious information. A lot of you are men. Some of you are non-binary. Okay. Going off the beaten path here. I'm content, and I need to not feel guilty for it. I'm eating well. I have a busy schedule of interviews and people to meet over the next week. And I'd like to get this flash drive over to you if you're interested. Just plug it in, and pretty simple setup. Thank you guys for being here. I'll update when I can, but I'm getting back into meditation and have completely eliminated my expectations of ever feeling loved or held again by the opposite sex. And that's the way it should be. Like, things are so fucking awful right now, you should just forget about ever finding a decent partner who will love you and be funny and be able to look at the silver lining of the relationship. We are fucking deranged. We are just hostile and competitive, self-absorbed, hopeless society. And that's a fact. Okay. I appreciate you, Doomers. Hope this update was good and you felt less alone. I know you have to contend with all the AI, techno-hopium bullshit, Nate Hagens, Dr. Glibs of the... It's frustrating. But forget about it. Just forget about it all. Find your place of peace and tranquility. Some things to entertain. Somebody to hug. A community. Reach out. Tell people how much they mean to you. And we'll see it to the end. Talk to you soon.